embers cracking under the weight of the frost, and the map in my pocket is a language I've lost. I remember your boots crunching rhythmic and deep on the side of the ridge where the shadows all sleep. You'd pull the wool gaiter down over your chin to let the gold light of the morning crawl in. We were shivering atoms in a kingdom of white, holding our breath just to bottle the light. Now the altitude's changing and the oxygen's thin. I'm wearing the silence like a second-hand skin. It's a different vibration, a hollower tone, a sharp, jagged science of breathing alone. I'm chasing the vapor of a word you once said, a ghost in the lungs, a storm in the head. The summit is empty, the valley is stone, and I'm just a witness to breathing alone. I found your old compass, the needle is stuck like a heart that's run out of its time and in luck. I remember the way that the wind used to howl, and you'd laugh at the sky with a defiant growl. Now the clouds are just curtains of heavy gray leading the way of the story is something I've read. I'm counting my pulse in the base of my throat, a survivor who's drifted too far from the boat. They say that the lungs are just bellows of air, but they don't tell you how much the absence can tear. It's a pressure that climbs from the soles of my feet in the places where maybe you never both meet. I'm not gasping for life, I'm just missing the heat of the person who made every heartbeat complete. The altitude's changing and the oxygen's thin. I'm wearing the silence like a second-hand skin. It's a different vibration, a hollower tone, the sharp, jagged science of breathing alone. I'm chasing the vapor of a word you once said, a ghost in the lungs, a storm in the head. The summit is empty, the valley is stone, and I'm just a witness to breathing alone. Exhale the memory, inhale the cold. The stars are too young and I'm feeling too old. Just a ghost on a mountain, a seed that was sown in the quiet, the white, breathing alone. The street lamp is flickering, a heartbeat in the dark, casting long, lonely shadows across the city park. I found your old compass in a shoebox today. It still points to home that is miles away. I remember the kitchen, the smell of burnt toast, the way you'd laugh loudest when I needed it most. Just 2 paper cups and a linoleum floor. We had nothing at all, yet we couldn't want more. Do you remember the rain on the window pane glass? How we watched all the people in the centuries pass. You traced the blue veins on the back of my hand, like a map of a country we both understand. Now the silence is heavy, a thick velvet shroud, and your name is a whisper I can't say out loud. I keep the porch light on a fool's little prayer, breathing in oxygen but finding nowhere. They say that the heart is a muscle that heals, but it doesn't describe how the emptiness feels. It's the almost and someday they cut like a knife, the beautiful what ifs of a different life. I'm not angry at time for moving so fast. I'm just jealous of the version of me in the past, waking up in a broken dream's night, where the moon is too heavy and the stars are too bright. I'm reaching for ghosts in the space where you slept, counting the secrets that we never kept. Of a broken dream's night, sleep well, my darling. Wherever you are, you're the light in the water, the ghost of a star. Broken dreams, but they were ours. They were ours. Good night. The wind is a brush against the canyon of red, smoothing the words that we should have just said. I remember the fire we built in the sand, and the way that the embers would burn on your hand. We were looking for fossils in the dry riverbed, ancient and steady was what you had said. You'd pull the turquoise ring off of your bone, just to show me a circle I could call my own. And these were the carried nights, heavy and wide, the pull of a moon with no ocean or tide. We were drifting through valleys of juniper smoke, before the thin thread of the forever just broke. I'm walking the ridgeline, I'm chasing the heat of a desert that's hollow beneath my own feet. The stars are a burden, too bright and too deep. In the carried nights I'm not allowed to keep. I found your canteen in the tall yellow grass, a dent in the metal where the seasons all pass. I remember the sun on the back of your neck, a golden horizon with nothing whistle for hawks in the 2 p.m. glare, with the scent of the sagebrush still caught in your hair. Now the silence is ringing like a bell in the heat, and the dust is the only thing left on the street. They say that the desert is a place to get clean, to burn off the ghosts of the things that we've been. But the heat only mirrors the fever of you, and the sky is too honest and the sky is too blue. I'm not looking for water, I'm not looking for shade, I'm just looking for us in the light as it fades. And these were the carry nights, heavy and wide, the pull of a moon with no ocean or tide. We were drifting through valleys of juniper smoke before the thin thread of the forever just broke. I'm walking the ridgeline, I'm chasing the heat of a desert that's hollow beneath my own feet. The stars are a burden, too bright and too deep. In the carried nights I'm not allowed to keep. Carry the dust, carry the dust, carry the stone. I'm learning the echo of standing alone, still drifting, still blue, in the desert of me, in the memory of you. The tea is cold, the steam has long since died. Like the whispered always we kept tucked inside. I still reach for your hand when the shadows start to grow, tracing patterns on the sheets where you used to go. The dust is dancing in the light of the hall. In the silence I can still hear your footsteps fall. And oh, it's a beautiful kind of breaking, a heavy heart that's still worth the aching. You're the ghost in the corner, the salt in my tears, the sweetest melody I've heard in all these years. Now I'm just a hollow shell where your light used to reign, holding on to the beauty, drowning in the dark remains. Do you remember that sweater, the one with the tear? You laughed when I told you it was all you should wear. It still smells like the rain and that citrusy soap, a threadbare reminder, a fragment of hope. The kitchen is quiet, the radio's dim, and the cup that was ours is now chipped at the rim. They say that time is a healer, a thief in the night, but I don't breaking, a heavy heart that's still worth the aching. You're the ghost in the corner, the salt in my tears, the sweetest melody I've heard in all these years. Now I'm just a hollow shell where your light used to reign, holding on to the beauty, drowning in the dark remains. The sun's coming up, but the room stays gray. I'm memorizing the pieces of you that won't stay. Just a flicker, just a shadow, and the dark remains. The piano is out of tune, leaning against the peeling wall, like the way we used to lean into the mystery of it all. I found a ticket stub from that movie you hated so much, still creased from the pocket where I used to feel your touch. We were kids in a kitchen, dancing to the hum of the fridge, building a life on the span of a narrowing bridge. You used to hum into my shoulder when the world got too loud. Two silver linings lost in a charcoal cloud. Now it's just dust settling soft on the frames, slowly erasing the curves of our names. It's a golden decay, it's a beautiful ghost, the version of us that I still love the most. I'm breathing in shadows, I'm tasting the years, while the sunlight is drying the salt of my tears. It's a long, slow goodbye, a quiet surrender to a love that was fierce and a heart that was tender. Everything's turning to dust forever. I remember the way you'd sleep with your hand on your chest, like you were guarding a secret the morning hadn't guessed. The tea is gone cold in the cup with the chip on the rim, and the light in the hallway is starting to grow thin. I still buy the coffee you like, the one with the bean from the south, just to keep the ghost of your flavor inside of my mouth. It's the small, cruel mercies, the scent of your soap on a towel, the we and the us that have turned into now. They say that the earth is just stardust and bone, that no one is ever truly alone. But the space in this bed is a canyon of gray, and I'm watching the forever just crumble away. It's not a wildfire, it's not a loud crash, it's just the slow cooling of wood into ash. It's just dust settling soft on the frames, slowly erasing the curves of our names. It's a golden decay, it's a beautiful ghost, the version of us that I still love the most. I'm breathing in shadows, quiet surrender to a love that was fierce and a heart that was tender. Everything's turning to dust forever. So I'll sit in the silence, I'll stay in the gray. I won't sweep the memories of you away. Let it settle, let it stay, dust forever, until I fade to just dust and you. Just dust and you. The boardwalk is buckled and bleached by the salt. The carousel's frozen in a mechanical fault. I remember the way the blue neon would spill over the collar of your jacket, until the world was just cobalt in the center of the tide, and that sharp citrus gum that you kept tucked inside. You'd lean on the railing and mimic the gulls while the water was rhythmically slapping the holes. Now I'm keeping the ending close, like a coin in my shoe, walking the perimeter of everything I knew. It's a low-tide confession, a prayer in the sand, the lingering static of your ghost in my hand. It's not a clean break or a ship out to sea. It's a permanent anchor dragging through me, in the spray and the shiver, in the fog and the coast. I'm holding the version of the ending that's close. I found a brass token from the arcade we played, buried deep in the lint of a better spent day. I remember you winning that cheap plastic ring, and how you treated that junk like a sanctified thing. You'd hum through your teeth when the wind got too cold, a melody silver, a memory gold. Now the shutters are bolted and the taffy is stale, and I'm just a witness to a love that turned pale. They say that the ocean will take what it wants, leaving only the skeletons and the beautiful haunts. But I'm fighting the current, I'm treading the deep for a handful of secrets I promise to keep. The pier is just rotting, the wood is so thin, but it's the only foundation I've ever been in. Yeah, I'm keeping the ending close, like a coin in my shoe, walking the perimeter of everything I knew. It's a low-tide confession, a prayer in the sand, the lingering static bark, ending close, like the salt on my skin, where the story stopped, where the always began. The city is humming a low, lonely frequency, while I'm tuned to a station that's nothing but vacancy. I'm driving through streets where your shadow still stretches past the neon and chrome and the lines, the light edges. I haven't moved on, I've just learned how to hover in the space between a lover and never another. The map on my dashboard is leading to nowhere, but if I drive fast enough, maybe I'll grow hair. No, maybe I'll find you there. It's an endless escape, but I'm running in place, trying to sharpen the blur of your face. A high-speed collision with thought that we were the scent of the asphalt, the salt and the fur. I'm breaking the limits, I'm chasing the sun, but the race is already lost and won. In this endless escape, I'm just stalling the time, committing the love and surviving the crime. The radio static is playing our anthem, a ghost in the speakers, a digital phantom. I remember the way that the dashboard would glow, how you'd rest your bare feet on the glass down below. Now the passenger seat is a kingdom of air, and I'm talking to someone who isn't quite there. It's a beautiful trap, it's a gilded cage, and I'm just an ink blot on a forgotten page. If I stop the car, then the silence will kill me. If I look in the mirror, the absence will fill me. So I'll keep the engine warm and the tires humming, pretending the ending is something that's coming instead of something that's gone. It's an endless escape, but I'm running in place, trying to sharpen the blur of your face. A high-speed collision with all that we were, the scent of the asphalt, the salt and the fur. I'm breaking the limits, I'm chasing the sun, but the race is already lost and won. In this endless escape, I'm just stalling the time, committing the love and surviving the crime. Just one more mile, just one more light. I'll drive through the morning and stay in the night. Endless escape, endless. The road goes on, but you don't. The lighthouse is spinning its gold through the fog on the bay, a rhythmic reminder of things that won't ever stay. I remember the salt on your skin and the sand in your shoes, and the way that you'd hum those low-frequency blues. We were sketching our names in the wet, heavy shore before the tide came to claim what it didn't have before. I can still feel the weight of your head on my chest, like a bird that I finally found where to rest. Now it's a failed absence, a shape in the air, a heavy set hollow that follows me everywhere. It's the phantom of warmth on the passenger seat, the ghost of a rhythm that skipped every beat. It's not that you're gone, it's that you're still here, in the scent of the rain, in the chill of the pier. A beautiful burden, a love once so dense. Now I'm just living in this felt absence. The clock in the hallway is ticking in remember when's. I'm looking for us through a cracked, dusty lens. I found the old compass you used to keep on your keys. It still spins in circles, lost in the breeze. I remember you laughing while the tea was too hot, giving names to the things that we never had got. Now the silence is singing your favorite song, a harmony built for a soul that is gone. They say that a void is just nothing at all, but it's heavy as lead when it starts to crawl. It's the echo of forever in a room built for two, the me that is missing the better of you. I'm not looking for closure or an end to the night. I just want the shadow to give back the light. It's a failed absence, a shape in the air, a heavy set hollow that follows me everywhere. It's the phantom of warmth on the passenger seat, the ghost of a rhythm that skipped every beat. It's not that you're gone, it's that you're still here, in the scent of the rain and the chill of the pier. A beautiful burden, a love once so dense. Now I'm just living in this felt absence, tracing the outline, measuring the space where I used to find home, and the curve of your face still felt, still here, in the absence, in the blue, forever, and you. The ivy is crawling across the brick of the wall, tracing the patterns of the way we let ourselves fall. I remember the weight of your head on my knee, when the afternoon light was as gold as could be. You used to hum while you painted the windowsills blue, getting more on your fingers than you intended to do. Just a slow motion morning, no mountains to climb. We were tucked in the creases of a kinder time. And it's a gentle heartbreak, a soft-spoken grief, like the quietest change in the color of a leaf. It doesn't scream at the walls or shatter the glass. It just whispers your name as the long hours gentle heartbreak tonight. I found your old sketches in the back of the drawer, the lines on my face that you don't see anymore. I remember the way that you'd stir in your sleep, and the I love you promises you meant for to keep. The scent of the jasmine still clings to the air, reminding my lungs that you're no longer there. It's the small quiet mercies that hurt me the most, being loved by a memory, being held by a ghost. They say that a break should be jagged and loud, like a thunderous crack from a charcoal cloud. But ours was a sunset, a slow fading glow, a long honeyed lesson in letting you go. There's no bitterness here, just a hollow so deep, and 1,000 forevers I'm trying to keep. And it's a gentle heartbreak, a soft-spoken grief, like the quietest change in the color of a leaf. It doesn't scream at the walls or shatter the glass, it just whispers your name as the long hours pass. It's a beautiful sorrow, a love kept in stone, the warmth of a hand that I no longer own. I'm folding the memories like linen so white, in the tender surrender of a gentle heartbreak tonight. Softer than starlight, lighter than breath, the life of a love and its quietest death. Sleep well, my darling, the garden is still. I'll love you forever, I suppose that I will. Just a gentle heartbreak. I saw your face again in a crowded room. You didn't look at me like you used to. Your hand felt so far, even when it touched mine. We were losing love one night at a time. I try to hold on, but you let go slow. He always break my heart in the quiet dark. Say he loves me still, then he tears apart. I keep falling down every time he starts. He says stay with me, then he breaks my heart. Your words feel so cold, like a winter rain. You say it's my fault, but I feel the pain. I gave you my all, every little piece, but you gave me tears instead of peace. I hear your I'm sorry, but it feels so far. He always breaks my heart the bed is cold tonight, the lamp still glows, but it's not right. I hear your voice in the smallest things, and echoes the silence brings. Your sweater's folded where you left it last, like it's still holding on to the past. And I keep reaching out in the dark for a hand that's no longer mine. I miss you in the quiet, I miss you in the light, I miss the way you held me through the longest nights. Now every little memory feels too close to true, and every beat inside my chest still aches for you. If love could stay in moments, we'd never say goodbye. I'd live inside your laughter for all my life. But time just keeps on moving and takes you far from you. So I hold on to forever by missing you. I still love you, I always do. In every silence, I miss you. The clock on the mantle is stuttering slow, counting the minutes since you had to go. I'm tracing the ghost of your breath on the glass, watching the ghosts of the afternoons pass. The sunlight still hits that one spot on the floor where we danced till our shadows couldn't take anymore. And oh, it's the ache of a beautiful crime, a heart that's still beating but frozen in time. We were a rhythm that fell out of sync, standing so close to the edge of the brink. Now I'm just a whisper in a house full of rhymes, drowning in the echo of our lost lovely times. I found your old bookmark, page 84, in the book that we promised we'd finish once more. It's the small things that break me, the way you drink tea with a spoonful of honey and a look meant for me. Now the kitchen is cold and the garden is dry, and I'm asking the stars for a different sky. If I could reach back through the blur of the years and wipe away all of the salt and the fears, I'd hold you a second, a lifetime or two. In the golden hour glow when the world was just you, but the sand in the glass only falls one way down, and I'm losing but frozen in time. We were a rhythm that fell out of sync, standing so close to the edge of the brink. Now I'm just a whisper in a house full of rhymes, drowning in the echo of our lost lovely times. The moon's looking lonely, a sliver of white. I'm saying goodnight to the ghost of the light. Just a heartbeat, just a memory in our lost lovely times. The typewriter key stuck on the letter U, a stubborn little ghost of everything we knew. I remember the way you'd press your thumb against the spine of an old leather book, claiming every single line. We were hiding in the stacks while the winter sky turned lead, reading poems out loud that haven't yet been said. You took a dried pressed flower in the middle of the page, a tiny fragile prisoner of a different age. And it's a memory hold, a heavy paper weight, keeping me from drifting toward a newer fate. I'm a bookmark left in a chapter that you closed, with 1,000 I love yous left unexposed. It's a beautiful burden, the ink upon my skin, the story of the places where your touch had been. I'm caught in the binding, I'm shivering and cold, safe inside the grip of a memory hold. The smell of old cedar and the graphite of your lead is a haunting little symphony inside my tired head. I remember how you'd underline the words about the sea and look across the table and smile back at me. Now the ink is starting to smudge and turn to gray, like a conversation fading at the end of a day. I'm cataloging glances and the way you tilt your head, saving every syllable that we ever shared. They say that a story needs a finish and a start, but they don't see the addendums written on my heart. I'm scrawling in the margins, I'm filling up the white, trying to keep your shadow from escaping the light. The library is silent, the candles are all low, but I'm not quite ready to let the ending go. And it's a memory hold, heavy paper weight, keeping me from drifting It's a beautiful burden, the ink upon my skin, the story of the places where your touch had been. I'm caught in the binding, I'm shivering and cold, safe inside the grip of a memory hold. Turn the page, but I'm still there, in the scent of the paper, in the stillness of the air. Memory hold, don't let go. I'm still reading the only life I know. The clouds are unspooling in threads of charcoal and slate, dripping slow on the iron of the old garden gate. I remember your coat, damp and heavy with June, and the way we would whistle a waterlogged tune. You'd catch the stray droplets on the tip of your tongue, back when the world and our heartbeats were young. We were shivering gold in a gray weeping world, like a secret the universe hadn't unfurled. Now the storm is a ghost, and the rain fading out, leaving me here in the silence of doubt. It's the wash of the water on a memory of stone, the hardest of lessons in standing alone. I'm watching the puddles lose the shape of your face as the sky clears a path for a much colder space. It's a beautiful ending, a soft silver line, the rain fading slow on a love that was mine. I found your umbrella, the one with the broken down rib, tucked in the corner like a forgotten fib. I remember the way that we'd huddle beneath, with the chill of the morning biting our teeth. The smell of the pavement when the heat meets the wet is a scent that I haven't learned how to forget. Now the eaves have stopped dripping, the pavement is dry, and I'm looking for clouds in a porcelain sky. They say that the rain's a way to start clean, to wash off the colors of the things that we've been. But I want the mud and the grit and the gray, if it means that the ghost of your hand gets to stay. The sun is a trespasser, cruel and so bright, taking the silver and giving me light. Now the storm is a ghost, and the rain fading out, leaving me here in the silence of doubt. It's the wash of the water stamp on the soul, a part of the story that I can't make whole. Dry now, it's all dry. The rain is gone, and so am I. Rain fading, I still keep the seat heater on the highest setting, just in case you're ghosting the passenger side. There's a stack of those half-empty notebooks on the floor, where you doodle lies and never quite finish the phase. I haven't changed the Wi-Fi password yet. It's still your old childhood dog's name and the year we met. I'm living in the margins of a life we didn't finish, checking the rear view for a car that isn't following me home. I guess I'm just living in the space you vacated, paying the interest on a promise you broke. The keys are on the counter, but the locks feel different, and the walls keep humming the things we never spoke. It's a hollow kind of quiet, a beautiful day. I'm still here, stuck in the dark, just renting the ghost of your heart. Then I find your earring caught in the carpet, a tiny silver star that fell out while we slept. It's too small to keep, but too heavy to throw away. The sharpest proof of everything we didn't get to keep. I'm finally realizing that the lease is up, and I'm standing in a room that isn't mine anymore. The train tracks are humming a low, steady drone, a language of iron that I've learned alone. I remember the ink on your thumb from the news, and the way that you'd polish your scuffed leather shoes. We were sitting on benches in the 4 a.m. blue, when the world was a secret kept only by two. You'd lean your head back and just watch for a spark, 2 flickers of amber in the throat of the dark. Now the silent truth is waiting in the room, like a garden that's forgotten the reason to bloom. It's the things we didn't say when the light started thinning, the end of a thread that was just barely spinning. I'm tracing the ghost of your hand on the glass, watching the miles and memories pass. It's a quiet ache, a soft silver tooth biting down on the silent truth. I found an old postcard tucked inside a book, with that jagged, fast script that only you took. Just a note about coffee and the way the wind blew, but it feels like a gospel now that I'm without you. Do you remember the bridge where the water ran black? We promised we'd never look over our back, but I'm standing there still in the spray and the mist, counting the heartbeats that I know I have missed. They say that the truth is a light in the fall, but it's more like the moss on a decaying log. It grows in the damp, it grows in the shade, in the hollowed out places where promises fade. I don't need a shout or a crashing of bells. The loudest of stories is the one no one tells. The silent truth is a weight in the room, like a garden that's forgotten, the reason to bloom. It's the things we didn't say when the lights started thinning, the end of a thread that was just barely spinning. I'm tracing the ghost of your hand on the glass, watching the miles and the memories pass. It's a quiet ache, a soft silver tooth, biting down on the silent truth. The station is empty, the whistle is thin. I'm letting the maybe and never crawl in. Shh, can you hear it? The silent truth. It's just me and the truth and you. The telescope's dusty, aimed at a dead patch of sky, where we used to name planets as the satellites went by. I remember the roof of your car, cold against our backs, and the way the radio hummed through the silver tape cracks. You'd point to the belt of a hunter or a crown made of light, while the wind pulled the curls of your hair into the night. We were small, we were fleeting, we were borrowed and brief, two sparks in the dark, unaware of the thief. Now it's a starbound goodbye, drifting out past the moon to a frequency lost or an out of sync tune. I'm sending my love through the vacuum and cold to the girl with the starlight and stories untold. It's a beautiful distance, a billion-mile lake, watching the glow of the promises we couldn't make. You're a flicker of white in a sea of deep indigo dye, my echoing endless Starbound goodbye. I still have the map where you circled the great unknown, a paper-thin kingdom that I'm ruling alone. I remember your sweater, the one with the frayed velvet hem, and the way your eyes softened when the city lights were dim. Now the gravity's heavy and my boots are made of lead, while you're dancing in orbits far over my head. I'm reading the signals, the pulse and the sway of a light that left home 1,000 years away. They say that a star can be gone for an age before the sky realizes it's turned a new page. So I look at the spot where I think you should be and pretend that the shimmer's looking for me. The heartbreak is cosmic, the longing is vast. I'm a ghost of the future, in love with the past. It's a starbound goodbye, drifting out past the moon to a frequency lost, storing out a sing tune. I'm sending my love through the vacuum and cold to the girl with the starlight and stories untold. It's a beautiful distance, a billion-mile lake, watching the glow of the promises we couldn't make. You're a flicker of white in a sea of deep indigo dye, my echoing endless starbound goodbye. Signal fading over and out, I'm left in the shadow of wonder and doubt. Good night, my North Star. Good night, my sky. Just one last starbound goodbye. Goodbye. The thermostat is clicking in the hallway's hollow chest, a mechanical pulse in a house that cannot rest. I remember the blizzard that whitewashed the glass, and how we prayed the morning would never come to pass. You wore that oversized flannel with the mismatched pearl buttons, ignoring the world and its shoulds and its autos. We were an island of blankets on a sea of hardwood floor, with the storm outside acting as our only locked door. And a part of me has always stayed inside, in that temporary kingdom where we used to hide. The clocks have all moved on, the seasons turned to rust, but I'm still breathing in that gold-filtered dust. It's a beautiful haunting, a soft internal cage, where I'm rewriting the lines on a finished page. The door is wide open, the world is vast and wide. but the best of me has always stayed inside. I found the deck of cards with the missing queen of hearts, a metaphor for how a life eventually departs. I remember the steam from the shower filling up the hall, and the way you draw my name in the condensation crawl. You'd hum a low melody against the curve of my ear, a frequency so gentle only a lover could hear. Now the air is too still and the shadows are too long, like a singer who's forgotten the bridge of the song. They say the walls are just plaster and laugh an old pine, but they've memorized your laughter and they've memorized mine. The floorboards still groan in the shape of your stride, fueling the secret that I'm trying to hide. I'm not a prisoner, I'm not under a spell, I just prefer the heaven of this familiar hell. And a part of me has always stayed inside, in that temporary kingdom where we used to hide. The clocks have all moved on, the seasons turn to rust, but I'm still breathing in that gold-filtered dust. It's a beautiful haunting, a soft internal cage, where I'll be writing the lines on a finished page. The door is wide open, the world is vast and wide, but the best of me has always stayed inside. The sun is hitting the porch, the neighbors are starting their cars, but I'm under the covers, still counting our stars. Stayed inside, where it's warm. Stayed inside, safe from the storm. I'm still here, I'm still with you. The salt is stinging the cracks in the pavement tonight, and the moon is a thin silver sliver of light. I remember the way you pull your sleeves over your palms, like the world was a storm and your skin was the calm. We were shivering under a single wool coat at the pier, talking about names for the kids we'd have in a year. The condensation on your breath was a promise I kept, a ghost in the air, while the rest of the city still slept. Now the tide's coming in, but it's pulling me under the floor. I'm a shipwreck that's forgotten the shape of the shore. It's not a sudden snap or a glass hit in the ground, it's the ringing in my ears when there isn't a sound. I'm still breaking in the places where your fingers once stayed, in the blueprint of a future that we let ourselves trade. Every morning is a mountain I'm too tired to climb. I'm still breaking across the divisions of time. saw a car just like yours at the red light on Main, and for 3 seconds flat I forgot all the pain. I almost leaned out to shout at the glass, to tell you I finally mowed all the grass. But the light turned to green and the engine just roared, leaving me stranded on a wooden floorboard. It's the small jagged edges of ordinary things, the way that a certain frequency rings. They say that the winter will eventually break, but what about the ice that is stuck in the lake? It's frozen so deep that the summer can't reach, like the words that we practiced but never could speech. I'm a monument built out, it could have been gold, turn into rust as the weather gets cold. The tide's coming in, but it's pulling me under the floor. I'm a shipwreck that's forgotten the shape of the shore. It's not a sudden snap or a glass hitting the ground, it's the ringing in my ears when there isn't a sound. I'm still breaking in the places where your fingers once stayed, in the blueprint of a future that we let ourselves trade. Every morning is a mountain I'm too tired to climb. I'm still breaking across the divisions of time, cracking like ice, splintering slow. I've got nowhere to stay and nowhere to go. Still breaking, can you hear the sound? Still breaking until I'm just part of the ground. The porch swing is swaying, but only with wind, where the stories of us used to softly begin. I still find your hairpins and cracks in the floor, small silver reminders of life lived before. The morning is cold where your shoulder would rest, and I'm wearing the silence like stones in my chest. Oh, it's a heavy and holy kind of regret to have memorized things I'm supposed to forget. We dived in too deep where the water stays blue, and I'm still underwater, still reaching for you. It's a beautiful ruin, this ache that remains from a love that's still flowing through all of my veins. Do you remember the rain on the skylight that night, when we talked until shadows were swallowed by light? You would hum in your sleep, just a low steady sound, the only true anchor that I'd ever found. Now the radio plays, but the songs have no key, and the ghost of your laughter is haunting the tea. They tell me to surface, to breathe in the air, but the world is too hollow with you nowhere there. I'd trade every future and every new day for one more hello in that old-fashioned way. If loving too much is the price of the fall, then I'd pay it again just to have known it all. dived in too deep, where the water stays blue, and I'm still underwater, still reaching for you. It's a beautiful ruin, this ache that remains from a love that's still flowing through all of my veins. The stars are just pinpricks, a light in the vast. I'm holding the pieces of everything past, too deep in the memory, too deep in the glow of a love I can't quite let go. The piano bench is cold and the sheet music's frayed, like the ghost of a melody we once played. I remember the ink on your wrist from the pens, and the way you describe things through a wide-angle lens. We were tangled in sunlight on the old porch stairs, trading our secrets and our half-finished prayers. You used to braid the tall grass while we sat by the stream, building a kingdom on the edge of a dream. Now it's a vanished love, like smoke in the pines, a story rewritten in invisible lines. I'm reaching for hands that have turned into mist, counting the versions of us that exist. It's a hollowed out ache, a sweet quiet theft, the beauty of everything that you have left, like a ship on the horizon that slipped from the view. I'm lost in the wake of a vanished love in you. I found your old keychain in the pocket of my coat, and a scrap of a letter that you never quite wrote. Just 3 little words and a smudge from your thumb to the rhythm of someday. My heart is gone numb. I remember the we ran for the train, and the way that you'd kiss me to quiet the pain. Now the tracks are all rusted and the station is still, and I'm climbing the shadow of our favorite hill. They say that nothing truly disappears, it just changes its shape through the wash of the years. But how can a sun be so bright and so golden, leave me so suddenly out in the cold? It's not that you're hidden or tucked out of sight, it's that you're the color of a starless night. It's a vanished love, like smoke in the pines, a story rewritten in invisible lines. I'm reaching for hands that have turned into mist, counting the versions of us that beauty of everything that you have left, like a ship on the horizon that slipped from the view. I'm lost in the wake of a vanished love and you. Gone like the morning, gone like the dew. The world is still turning, but it's missing its hue. Vanished, but vibrant. Vanished, but deep. You're the only memory I'm allowed to keep. Cold floor, closed door. I can't take more. Empty glass, hours pass. Shadows on the grass. Your coat, your note, a lump in my throat. Heavy chest, no rest. Failed every test. I'm a ghost in the hallway. Nothing left for me to say. The walls are closing in today, and I can't